So remember how I had terrible insomnia last night?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the second time it's happened this week. So fun, so cool. My brain hates me recently. I had really bad insomnia.
I hate to suggest
Sunday
this.
night.
Have you tried drugs? I'm just kidding.
No.
Have you tried hiring one of those work people who sleep train babies?
That
Yeah.
is an excellent idea.
I think you
should get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine they come over an adult man? Like, hi, could you sleep train me? Please?
Help me, please.
Help me, I'm just really struggling, please.
I'm sleepy.
But on Sunday, I was fighting for my life out in these streets, out in these sheets, may I say.
Whoa.
Just a lot of like reading so many pages of my book, listening to so many episodes of podcasts, just like nothing was working. And then I literally could not tell you what led to this, but I could tell you. I got on TikTok, and for some reason, on my personal TikTok, one of our podcast TikToks that was like 3 years old popped up on my FYP. And I was like, oh, great. And I watched it. I watched our entire TikTok page.
Aww. Was it nice?
And honestly, I was like, we're so funny.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome to Recovering Gleek, a podcast for all of your complicated feelings about the TV show Glee.
I've had this thing while we've been recording the podcast that I've been like really trying to avoid Glee where I can, just to like, keep it fresh. I'm really like trying to like study the thing. I don't need to like listen to it on my time off. Like, I didn't like listening to the music, especially. Like, I just wanted to see it in the context of the show, which, I mean, if I could redo it, I don't know that I would do something different, but like yesterday and today, I've been like listening to Glee, and I have been like, I gotta get that music in my veins. Like, I've been like crying and dancing all day today. I've had Blame It on the Alcohol stuck in my head. And seriously, I'm like doing the dishes, like doing my little dances. Like, I can't, and I'm like listening to it way too loud. And then also like the Warblers song. What's the Warblers song I was singing earlier?
Oh, Get You Alone, I think.
Down. Get You Alone! Jesus Christ.
Because you walk pretty, because you talk pretty.
There's crack in that. Not to bring up drugs for like the third time. Oh my God, that song is so good. But I was like, I literally don't know that I've like thought about this song outside the context of Glee. And I do think that like that's a part of Glee is its like streamability in the music sense that I have like not let myself explore. And I was like, God damn it, this is so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a banger TV show. Someone should make a podcast about it, frankly.
Yeah.
It's a very good TV show. It's got it all. It's crazy.
It's got it all.
We have talked about this, just you and me, that our experience with this podcast in many ways reflected kind of like Glee's trajectory.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense that like seasons 1 and 2, it was the most important thing in our lives.
Yeah.
We like dedicated everything to it because the pandemic was happening. We didn't have anything going on.
Yeah.
And then when we were covering season 3, the stuff was opening back up and we started working other jobs and we started getting really busy and balancing that and the podcast. And then like as it went on, we just got busier and busier and busier. And like I have always really enjoyed doing the podcast, but it was the same thing that it was like I have so much going on in my life on top of this podcast that like Glee is strictly business.
Yeah.
Like during season 1, I listened to Glee all the time. I would watch episodes for fun. And then it was like, I have to like be getting stuff done for work. I got to be like prepping for auditions. I got to be doing this, that, and the other. Like I am watching this week's episode a few times and taking notes. And like, that's all my Glee content for the week.
Yeah.
And then now as we're winding down, I'm getting all emo about it.
I know, literally.
I'm like, I should rewatch all of season 5 again tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. I was even thinking like, I was just going through all the episodes, like trying to find like my favorite plot points, my favorite songs. And I was like, should I sit down and watch this block of episodes? Yeah. But also like, maybe that'd feel kind of nice. Because I mean, doing anything because you have to is like a weird experience in your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter if you like it or not. It's a weird experience. So like watching Glee in this way has been an interesting experience to say the least, and to like look at it from like a really inquisitive mindset, and then to like just listen to the music for fun. Oh my God, I was like, God, I gotta bring some fun back into here. I want to like watch the show again. I love this show. Like I have major graduation goggles, like you said earlier.
Seriously.
Like I love this show. I was like looking at like cast photos and, you know, listening to silly, stupid Warbler songs. And I was like, Jesus.
Listening to silly little love songs.
Exactly. But yeah, a blast.
So everyone, tune in next week when we are covering the pilot episode of Glee. We are starting over. We're going to cover the whole thing again.
Oh my God.
What we're actually doing, everyone, hello, welcome. We're doing a beautiful kind of in memoriam for Recovering Gleek, a Glee podcast. Now that we are ending this chapter of the podcast where we have gone through every episode week to week, watched them and talked about them, we are now going to look back and talk about the show as a whole, give some superlatives, talk about different characters, talk about what the show means to us. It is a big, bad effing deal, and we want to do it right.
Yeah.
So we are making it a multi-part series, baby.
Woo! You thought you were rid of us? Think again.
You ever go to someone's funeral and then halfway through the eulogy, they say, come back next week for part 2 of the eulogy? That's what we're doing, baby.
Oh, a multi-part eulogy.
Multi-part eulogy. We do want to, as part of this beautiful Recovering Gleek eulogy, we would love to get y'all involved in the pod. I mean, this podcast really exists and lasted this long because all of you found us on TikTok mostly and started listening and stuck with us through all these years. We owe so much to all of you, and so much of, you know, emails you have sent in throughout the years, voicemails you've sent in throughout the years, just streaming the podcast, sharing the podcast with your friends, leaving reviews for the podcast. And if you would like to, we would love to be able to include your voices in this little in memoriam. So if you want to send us an email to recoveringgleek@gmail.com, pardon me, and you can talk about your superlatives for the show. You can talk about, you know, what Glee means to you. You can say a goodbye to the podcast, whatever you think is fitting.
Yeah.
We would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And check in for a future part to hear us share some of those thoughts.
Well, I hope someday my eulogy lasts this long. 'Cause I'm pumped.
I know.
Honestly, I'm excited to talk about the podcast in this way and, you know, close this chapter.
Yeah. I'm honestly, like, very excited.
I know, me too.
We have a bit of a surprise for this episode. And while I was, like, prepping the surprise so that I could make it happen in the episode, it made me really emotional.
Really?
And it made me so excited.
Oh my God.
To do all of this.
I love when you get emotional.
I hope that my eulogy is this multi-part series and someone just edits out every time one of us says Glee or the podcast, and they put in Ian. And it's like that Microsoft Sam voice too.
And it's also peppered in E.T.
Yeah.
Ian.
Yeah, Susie peppered in a little E.T. voice. Ian.
Yeah, totally. Susie peppered in. God, we should have said that more.
I'm going to Susie pepper that in the past episodes.
Literally go in.
Pulling episodes down, editing it back in, and then re-uploading them. Just doing a lot more bits. What happened to bits? We used to have so many bits on this podcast.
We
Remember
did.
The Fly?
Well,
Remember The Door?
We got old and
Whatever happened to
boring.
those?
We got old and boring.
We got old and boring. We got real jobs.
That's the thing is, It's hard to make bits when you're working 40 hours a week at a job that makes you want to just lay in bed and be quiet.
Whoa.
I was going to say something
Horrible.
crazy. I know.
Oh my gosh. Well, everyone. Hi.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Nice to meet you. My name is Ian Allred. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of this brand new podcast. We're covering Gleek, a Glee podcast. We're very excited to have you. We thought we would start every episode by introducing ourselves and then also saying as a funny bit that we're Gleeks.
Yeah.
So, hi, I'm Ian Allred, and I am a Gleek.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lena Knatzer. Buy my merch for the hit podcast, Recovering Gleek, a Glee podcast, friends of the podcast. I need to wear this more. I remember when we first came out with this, it took me like several months to get it. Like, not because I ordered it and it took a long time to get in, but because I was like, I'll get that in a second. I'll get that soon. And then I finally got it. My mom got one too. I'm rocking the pink long sleeve crew neck.
Heck yeah. I'm wearing my limited edition one-of-a-kind t-shirt, which doesn't exist because it was too expensive to produce. It's the one that says Recovering Gleek on the front and then a friend of the podcast on the back. And then we found out that it was literally like 50% cheaper to just have it say all those words on the front. So this is a one-of-a-kind t-shirt that we never sold. So it's pretty
special.
Exclusive.
Pretty special.
But I wear my podcast merch an embarrassing amount.
Good for
because
you.
It's free advertising.
Hello.
I had for my improv showcase. I took an improv class and we had to do a performance at the end. We did 4 of them actually, and in one of them I wore my podcast merch because I was like, I want these people in the audience to know. And then that was the worst I did in any of the shows.
Woohoo!
So I was like,
Thanks
no
for the
one's
free
going to want to listen to the
promo,
podcast
bitch.
after
Jesus.
that dumpster fire. Oh, well.
That's okay. I'm sure you did better than you thought. Preparing for this episode was a blast and a half, and I can't wait to talk about it with you.
For part 1 of our eulogy, we are going to do series-wide superlatives.
I know it sounds like a lot, and you know what? It was. And I don't know if I'll stand by this list even tomorrow, but I stand by this list today.
So many of my answers have question marks.
I have like several answers for much of them, and I'm going to share them all. Sorry.
One of mine, the answer is like a full paragraph of just different answers.
Yeah.
And then I finally highlighted the one that I was like, okay, I think definitively this is my answer, but I need to touch on all of these. But we have, it's the end of an era. Nothing says full circle event like having people from the past come back. We have a lot of very special guests,
Marley and Marley,
who are also going to be weighing in on the superlatives. Statler and Waldorf as Marley and Marley in Muppet Christmas Carol are coming on the podcast.
Today,
they are weighing in. They're big Gleeks. Come on in.
This podcast sucks.
You should call them Jim Henson Studios, girl. You got a job there. Did you
also see my shoulder shaking? I thought that was the best part.
So, here we are, everyone. We are going to bid farewell to Glee. We're going to talk about our favorite and least favorite things from the entire series. We're going to give out some
best
awards.
Part, worst part, if you will.
The biggest best part, worst part for the entirety of Glee, right here, right now.
Play the jingle. Best part, worst part.
Now, we thought it would be fun to get some thoughts from people who've guested on the pod in the past. We reached out to all of them, just, in hopes that some would be interested. And lo and behold, it was so touching. Literally every person that we've ever had guest star on this podcast answered and sent us a voice message. Sans Harper Gray, who I didn't reach out to because I was like, love her to death. She was so kind. She's got more important stuff going on.
And also, I don't know that she's, bless her, a listener of the podcast.
No, she certainly is not. She certainly is not. No.
I mean, she's probably a huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, she probably loves and adores us. No, but just like for legality purposes, when I say everyone who's ever been on the podcast, I mean besides her.
Yeah.
But we also did not even ask.
Big shout out, Harper Gray.
Big shout out. It was incredible that she agreed to be on this podcast. Anyways, but everyone else did respond, and it was very, very touching. We, however, they've also got more important stuff going on. So we only asked them a few questions. Yeah. They're not doing every superlative that we're doing. So we will hear them chiming in when it fits what we're speaking about.
Yes.
And Patreon, this is for you. You're about to get some fun behind the scenes, because when this releases, I will be able to just edit these sound bites in, obviously. But for now, I will be playing them off my phone. And a lot of them, they like answer 3 different questions in the same soundbite. So I will have to like play it and then pause it, and then we'll talk. And then when we get to the next superlative, I'll have to pull it back up and then like find the right timestamp. So I do have the timestamps written down, but just have some patience with me. I'm doing my best.
I'm not patient. Also, for kids at home, I've never heard these, so I'm excited to be surprised.
Oh, yeah. This is Lena's. I've listened to them just so we could like have it prepped and know where we should put what. But they are a surprise to Lena's virgin ears.
Big virgin my ears. Hell yeah.
Woo!
Let's
Huge
get
virgin.
into this.
Because you walk pretty. Because you talk pretty.
Because you make me sick and I'm not leaving
till you're leaving.
Oh my God. That's what I so good.
Right.
All right. Let's start with episodes, shall we?
All right. Big one to start with, baby. Let's hit it.
And you know what? I said it before and I'll say it again. I stand by this today. I do not think I would stand by this tomorrow, but it is what I'm going to say.
No, I feel the same way. I'm like, Glee's ever changing. I literally, last night, I was thinking about the episode Thanksgiving, an episode that on mic, I was like, this episode sucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, Thanksgiving's kind of a camp classic. Like,
hello.
Let's have a Kiki Turkey Lurkey and Gangnam Style in the same episode.
Honestly,
that's iconic.
I love them. And honestly, like, I was reading a lot of, I have my own opinions, but I definitely like Googled a few lists just to like get an idea of like what other people were saying. Every bitch in town was saying like Gangnam Style and also Turkey Lurkey Time / Let's Have a Kiki are the worst songs on Glee. And I was like, you guys need to pull that stick up your ass out, you guys. Like, let's have some fun. Let's smile.
No, seriously. I'm like a big believer in like Glee is at its worst when it's boring.
Yeah, Jesus. And that's the thing too, is even like Ian and I were talking last night, like, should we include worst songs? And I'm like, there's so many boring songs that I don't know if I can like round those all up and like what's the most boring.
I mean, a lot of my worsts are boring. As far as worst songs, I was like, this song was so boring.
Yeah.
And then that's
and then there's
big
ones that are
reason
like
why
personally
I chose a lot of them.
offensive.
Yes. Yes.
Let's start with episodes. Do
All
you want to
right.
do worst or do you want to do best first?
I think we do worst so we end on a high
note.
Yeah.
All right. Really kicking things off kind of terrible. My worst episode of this television show.
I think we probably agree.
I mean, what did you say?
No, what'd you put?
What? No. Now I feel.
Okay.
Let's say it on 3.
Okay.
Gentleman's tip of the 1,
2, 3.
Shooting star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was really frightening.
Yeah. This is the one exception where like Glee's at its worst when it's boring.
Yeah.
Glee has done a lot of like plot lines and moments that are like tone deaf and offensive and wild.
Yeah.
But at least in my vision, none more tone deaf and offensive and wild than the plot of this episode that is then never even touched on again as soon as the episode ends. Like, some of the stuff that Glee has covered that is tone deaf, I can look back on and be like, it's also maybe a little bit camp that they handled that issue so poorly.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about this episode. Mm-hmm. It's insane.
And, like, it's just, like, personally offensive to behold. I told you that my siblings had gone through something, like, of a similar nature, like, that Wednesday, so if not the day before, like the day after, I can't remember the exact timeline, but like it was like so terrible to watch personally, and like, you know, just like this country's been through some horrible atrocities in this way, and for like the underlying of like the catfishing and like, I don't know, it's just like the worst. And, you know, there are moments in this, like, I kind of don't mind when it's, like, when Glee is too, like, you know, like, does their drama episodes. I don't mind that. But this one is just, like, the tone is really, like, Glee is just not the venue for this. It's just not the television show where this should have happened.
No.
We should be talking about gun violence, and like as a society we should be talking about that, but maybe not Glee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
like
shooting star.
everyone is acting for their lives in this episode.
Oh my god, they do it's really upsetting. They do such a great job.
Yeah, and it's horrific to watch. This reminds me, you watch Abbott Elementary?
I have watched some of Abbott Elementary, and then I don't have a Hulu subscription anymore.
Yeah. I love Abbott Elementary, and people have been tweeting at Quinta Brunson,
right,
who is the lead and also the head writer of the show, being like, our country needs to take a stand on gun violence and gun control, which, like, yes, it does. And, like, you need to make an episode of your TV show about a school shooting at Abbott Elementary so that, you know, like, the country will wake up. And I'm trying to find the exact tweet, what she says to it. This is, like, from an article, so part of the tweet might be cut out.
Right.
But she responded, please use this energy to ask your elected official to get on Beto time and nothing less. Beto time, and nothing less. I'm begging you. I don't want to sound mean, but I want people to understand the flaw in asking for something like this. We're not okay. This country is rotting our brains. I'm sad about it. Like, what dystopia are we living in that, which I mean, a lot of it is the government's fault, but like that we are like these comedy TV shows.
Yeah.
Need to be showcasing this horrific reality and like traumatizing the actors and the audience in hopes that like something will get done. It just was so not the time or place. It's harrowing. It's awful. Big thumbs down to that episode.
Absolutely.
My gentleman's tip of the hat, Shooting Star, is like far and beyond the winner, but I just wanted to shout out how much I hate Makeover in season 4 and Old Dog Matrix in season 5.
You do hate those ones.
They're both boring.
Yeah.
And Makeover hinges on Rachel becoming incredibly disinteresting.
Yeah.
It's like everything that makes her unique we need to throw out, and now she's like basic and hot. Yeah. And I hate it.
Let's talk about best episode. Now listen. I got a few answers. And I'm not taking them out. I'm not taking them out. So, I'll go first.
Walk me through.
I've got 3. And I think these say a lot about me. And I don't know if I'd agree with myself tomorrow, but this is what I'm saying today. And I'm going to start off the bat with the one you're expecting from me. I'm going to say it. Hurt Locker Part 2. Woo! Give it up. Jigsaw.
Come on.
Father figure.
Come on.
Sue sobbing.
Come on.
Get out of my fucking face, you guys. Of course. And then the next one. Blame it on the alcohol.
Whoa!
Give it up. That episode is a blast.
It tastes like pink.
It tastes like pink. It's terrible. Don't you want me? Like, TikTok.
Don't you want me,
Blame
girl?
it on the
That
alcohol?
song is amazing.
Amazing.
Better than the original.
Sorry about it. And then like Finn like telling Rachel about all like the drunk like stereotypes, like archetypes, like oh my god.
$Sign ha.
$sign ha. Oh my god.
Come on.
Get out of my fucking face, you guys. And even Blame It on the Alcohol as a number. I was like watching it on YouTube and also like doing research about the episode. And like I had it like picture in picture on the side, like with like the Wikipedia article open. And I got so distracted with watching the performance that I just like watched it on the Wikipedia article, like mouth open, like just like, I just love it so much that, oh, Jesus. And then Journey to Regionals. Hello. Come on.
Ooh.
Come on.
Ooh.
Give it up.
Say way ho.
Say way ho. Come on. So I think those are my best episodes. I mean,
Heck
there's
yeah.
so many of the, I mean, I just love this. I just love this show. Sorry about it. What are your best episodes?
Okay. I like have said this in the past, and I was like, okay, if I'm being pretentious, my best episode is Mattress season 1, episode 12.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think
I knew you were going to say that.
It, more than maybe any other episode, is what Glee is to me. Mm-hmm. Which is, we really see all the kids. It's like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this episode. I love this episode of television. 1, it's funny. Mm-hmm. 2, it is small stakes treated like big stakes.
Yeah.
It is these kids booking a local commercial for a mattress store and thinking that they are Hollywood
famous.
stars.
Yeah.
And like getting psyched out of their minds for it. 3, it is the Glee Club really having to come to terms with the fact that they are losers, that they are not doing this for popularity, and then doing it anyway. We have the big plot line about the thunderclap, and no one wants to be in the thunderclap because it always gets defaced. And then in the end, they all decide, you know what, let's do it together as a team. And the episode literally ends with it being defaced.
Yeah.
And then 3, that's when the Terry Will stuff comes to a head. That's when he finds out that she is faking her pregnancy.
You're a stranger to me.
That's when he says, I'm looking at you, and I'm trying to feel that feeling I used to feel, that feeling of family, but it's gone. That's when he's writing in his burn book.
It's so funny.
But like, that's like pulse pounding, like very intense.
But also campy.
And then it ends with Will getting, like, having to step down as their director.
Yeah.
Because he slept on the mattress and revoked his status. So now it's all of these kids and they've lost their leader and they can only depend on each other.
Yeah.
And like, all of that is so, like, that is Glee. Like, a group of outcasts who form a family, they have to depend on each other. They care more about their relationship with each other than like their social standing. And they are just constantly met with hardship after hardship, and they keep their heads up. And it ending on Smile by Charlie Chaplin while they get defaced is really beautiful. So that's my pretentious answer. But if I'm being honest about like, I want to watch Glee, what episode am I putting on? I am putting on Duets in season 2 or Journey to Regionals.
Duets is such a good answer.
Yes, I think Duets is one of the most well-balanced episodes of the entire show. Every single member of the club has something interesting and fun to do, and we get to explore a lot of new dynamics that we have not seen before. A lot of characters bouncing off each other, which I love. Also, nearly every song in that episode is a banger. Yeah. We get, of course, River Deep Mountain High.
Hello!
And, like, nothing tops it. But lest we forget, we also get like Le Jazz Hot. Mm-hmm. Lucky is also pretty charming. Don't Go Breaking My Heart is also pretty charming. Like, we get a lot of fun stuff in that episode. And then Journey to Regionals, what is there to say? Every time I watch this episode, my heart pounds so hard, I have to call 911. It is thrilling.
There's a song I'll mention a little later that I listened to this morning, and like, had to like sit on the ground because I was crying so hard.
No, like really, it's perfect television.
Yeah.
The culmination of Quinn's pregnancy storyline, the culmination of Jesse versus Rachel, the fact that they lose at the end, and then they sing To Sir with Love, which, like, feelings about Will aside, To Sir with Love makes me so emotional.
Yeah.
Once again, very Glee.
Totally.
So, and then I also did an honorable mention to Silly Love Songs because
it
walks pretty, because it talks pretty.
Because you make me sick. It makes me sick.
It makes me sick. Say way ho.
Save me. Oh, Jesus.
So, we also have our special guest chiming in on this one to tell us what their favorite episode of Glee is. First up, don't know if you've heard of him. He was on season 5, episode 12, 100 of our podcast, and season 6, episode 6, What the World Needs Now. You may also know him as the co-host of Recovering.
What is you?
It's me. He was also on every other episode.
It's just a clip of you saying something. I'd punch you in your dumb face.
And I say a totally different answer than what I just said. I'm like, I'm a huge fan of Naked in season 4. It's my favorite episode. Honestly, good episode.
I don't think your face is dumb. That was a mean thing for me to say. I think your face is so smart.
Thank you. It hurt my feelings. It is Andrew McGuire.
Nice.
Former co-host, now host, period, of Gleek of the Week podcast.
Hello. Hi, it's Andrew from Gleek of the Week podcast. Thank you so much for having me on for this farewell, goodbye podcast episode, Recovering Gleek. You have done so much for the community, I'm going to say. And I really just, the glurk that you have both put in to the world is so immeasurably received by all us Gleeks. So thank you. I would love to share my favorite episode of the series. I don't know if it's like a fan favorite among others, but I really love this episode. It's Asian F, season 3, episode 3, Angel Numbers. It just is such a jam-packed episode. The drama is there. The utilization of characters that we really don't hear from typically, Mercedes, Tina, Mike, are all like prominently featured in a way that I'm like, oh, thank God we get to hear from these characters. I think the songs are stellar. There's not like a flop in the bunch. I mean, just as a recap, I mean, Spotlight is in this episode. Run the World Girls. There's Cool by Mike Chang. There is, oh my God, It's All Over from Dreamgirls being perfectly utilized in this dream sequence of Mercedes. I mean, why am I explaining it to Gleeks? Y'all know, you were there. Just like all in all, Out Here on My Own? Are you kidding me? I feel that is a slept-on duet that we need to speak about more. It's so beautiful to me, and it should be to others as well. And Fix You, ending out the episode. You know, a Will solo, a Wolo. I'll give him it. It's just like high drama, and the episode ends with like a cliffhanger, which like I feel like a lot of Glee episodes are like perfectly wrapped, and this was like I don't even want to say like a mid-season finale because it's fully episode 3, but like it had mid-season finale vibes, and they did take a hiatus that was felt by the audience when it aired. But yeah, with Mercedes just being like, well, Miss Corcoran, I hear you need star power. Here I am. Cut to black. Like, this is like an episode of Lost. Like, I need to know what happens next.
For real.
Anyway, love Asian F down bad. And also just like one more thing. Just the Asian F of it all. I just think it's a true testament to this show that it's like these actors, Harry Shum Jr. and Jenna Ushkowitz, can handle such a stereotypical, like, stupid storyline, such as Mike Chang getting an A-, and treat it with such heart and groundedness and just It's just beautiful. Like, I cry when Mike's dancing with his mom. Oh my God. Are you kidding? This episode, one of the best hours of television. I'll say it. If you haven't watched it, if you're a Gleek and you haven't watched it, get on it. I'm not kidding. It's good. Okay, thank you so much for involving me in this all-star, superstar episode. We will miss you. Bad. Goodbye.
Asian F is easily my favorite episode of season 3. I
always forget about Asian F because of the title Asian F.
Yeah, it definitely, it makes me go, whoop, I'm not looking.
But it is excellent television.
Oh, excellent.
And like you said, there is not a dud in the bunch, like, of those songs. They are all fantastic. Up next, we're hearing from another Gleek of the Week. We got Allison Dodge on the podcast. She was on all the same episodes that Andrew was. Season 5, episode 12, 100. Season 6, episode 6, What the World Needs Now. Allison, take it away.
Hi, recovering Gleek. This is Allison from Gleek of the Week pod. I am here to say, oh my God, congratulations on your final episode. I am so proud of you and astounded by the work that you have put in this whole podcast and process, going through every single goddamn episode of this little show we like to watch. I am incredibly impressed by your work and thankful for all that you've done for the Glemunity. I'm also here to share my favorite episode, my favorite song of this little show that was on Fox for a little while called Glee. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. My favorite episode for sure is the first time, the sex episode. I became a woman when I watched that episode. Incredible. 10 out of 10. It is very much a summation of what it means to go through puberty. Is that too much? Is that too much? Maybe that's dramatic, but that's how I feel. It is so coming of age, and it's so good, and I love how they weave in the West Side Story of it all. So incredible.
West Side Story lovers, those ones.
How are we as virgins supposed to follow that voice message?
Come on!
I don't know. Here's why I love having guests on this podcast. Because there's so many different opinions. Because
I know. There's no definitive best episode of Glee, I think. There's a definitive worst.
Yeah, there is a definitive worst. If someone came in and was like, and my favorite episode is Shooting Star, I would say, cool, we're not airing this.
I'd say, I'd love to chat more about that. Not on this podcast.
Yeah, we're actually going to retroactively take down the episode that you guest starred.
I'm actually going to retroactively take down all of our episodes and Susie Pepper in the joke Susie Pepper in.
We got to get on that.
I know.
The first time is crazy to me,
yeah,
just because it hinges on Artie telling two teenagers that in order to play a role in their high school show, they have to have sex. That's crazy. But Allison is right. It's got banger moments. It's got some banger stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Make of our butts one butt.
Oh, seriously. It's a good one.
But like the intercutting. Why did I say it like that? The intercutting.
The intercutting.
Not to bleep that out. The intercutting of scenes from their actual life with scenes from West Side Story is like very exciting and very well done, and showing how it's being paralleled and how these emotional moments that they're experiencing outside are being expressed on the stage. Like that is all so beautiful and well done. Dang. Up next, we're gonna hear from someone. They were on our podcast way back in season 2, episode 10, A Very Glee Christmas. This is Lucas Graden, co-host of Typecasting, Pop Culture by the Numbers, a podcast which we also guest starred on. We also guest starred on Gleek of the Week, so you should check both of those out, baby.
Hi, this is Lucas from Typecasting, Pop Culture by the Numbers. I am so proud to have played even a small part in the Recovering Gleek journey. And Ian and Lena, congratulations. It is so incredible what you two have done and the community you've created over the last few years going through the wild ride that is the TV show Glee. I don't know if I can pick a favorite episode, but I think the scene to me that has stuck with me since I first watched it back live on television and encapsulates what meant so much to me about Glee as a kid is the very end of theatricality in season 1 when Finn shows up and stops Azimio and Karofsky from bullying Kurt in his red Lady Gaga outfit, and then the whole Glee club shows up dressed as Gaga and as Kiss and rallies around Kurt. And I know Glee can sometimes get sincerity a little bit too heavy-handed. I know they fumble things even in that episode, but the solidarity and the community that brought these kids together really being proven in that moment. And the Finn and Kurt relationship, as messy as it is, is also so special to me.
Yeah.
And that is the one scene that has stuck with me after all these years and means so much to me.
I love that. That's such a good thought. It's definitely one of the parts that I think of when I think of Glee. And I think of just Kurt and Finn's like relationship to me. We've got some major ups and we've got some major downs, but like overall, it's one of my favorite things about this show. And like the Hummel Hudsons coming together and becoming a family is one of my favorite things. I love that. I love that he brought that one up.
Up next, we got the other co-host of Typecasting Pop Culture by the Numbers and also a guest on Season 2, Episode 10 of Very Glee Christmas, Murjanatu Mutuwa.
What is up, Recovering Gleek? This is Murjanatu, the second half of the Typecasting duo, and I am so proud of you guys. What an achievement. As you both know, we slid into your DMs when we heard about Recovering Gleek. We love the show, and now I'm so proud to call both of you guys, two of my good friends. And shout out to everyone else who I've met as well through Recovering Gleek. So I was a church kid growing up, and I didn't listen to any music that was secular unless it was on Glee. And so my favorite episode was the Madonna episode because I just felt like I discovered a brand new way of being, iconic, flashy, and honestly an icon through the ages through their Madonna episode.
I love the Madonna episode.
You really got like a music education out of Glee.
I love that.
If that's like the first time you were hearing any of the secular music, that's amazing.
I love that. That's really fun. Oh.
Love you, Murjanatu. Love all of you. Love you, Lucas. Love you, Allison. Love you, Andrew. Thanks for being a part of this.
Thanks for being a part of this.
Now, on the very next episode of our podcast, after we had Murjanatu and Lucas on, actually, I got this order backwards. Just kidding. On the episode before, pretend I'm doing this before, I literally got this order reversed. On Season 2, Episode 9, Special Education, we had Vicky, Moonan, and Shane Crowley from Shane and Vicky's DCOM Clubhouse on. And here they are, all the way from Ireland, sending us their favorite episode.
Hey guys, it is Vicky, former host of Shane and Vicky's DCOM Clubhouse, and
this is Shane, former host of Shane and Vicky's DCOM Clubhouse.
I didn't know they were
we didn't quite get
together.
to the end of our podcast, but really thrilled for you guys. My favorite episode is a tie between Sexy, Season 2, Episode 15, and probably Rumors, which is Episode 17
Good one.
of that season, I believe.
My favorite episode, I think, is a tie between the Season 2 episode Britney or the pilot episode. I said it on the podcast. I think that is like a perfect pilot episode.
It is.
And we studied it in film school. Yeah.
I literally think of every time I have watched the pilot since having Shane and Vicky on our podcast, I think about the fact that they studied it in film school and that they said to us, they're like, it's a perfect episode of television. It's a perfect pilot episode. It sets up the world so well. And I think of that every time I think about the pilot. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
Glee really started out on the best foot possible.
Totally. Oh my god.
But great picks. Rumors.
Killer picks.
Gall. Fantastic pick. Great ep.
Jesus.
Holy cow.
Also, Brittany. I know you don't love a Madonna or a Britney. I love them. I think they're so silly and fun. And I hope you look back on them fondly.
I respect it. I respect it. They got artistic merit. They have some of the best performances in the entire show. They have some of the like most iconic, like music video visuals. They got great jokes. I get it. I see the appeal.
I'm glad you got it.
I just reach for a mattress over a Power of Madonna,
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah. Up next, we got Zach Faust. He was just on our podcast, season 6, episode 10, Rise and Fall of Sue Sylvester. You may also know him as Sue Sylvester TikTok.
Hello, Lena and Ian. It's Zach Faust, aka Sue Sylvester TikTok. I'd like to answer the questions. Question 1. What is my favorite episode? My favorite episode is Throwdown.
Good one.
Great pick. And honestly, no explanation needed. Also,
None.
I think he literally, when he's on our podcast, talks about why he loves Throwdown so much.
Yeah. And also, I love that quintessential New York person on the MF Go.
Seriously, mid-commute recording this voicemail, New Yorker.
Every time I've run into him, it's been walking down the street. I'm like, oh my God. He's a commuter. Loves
He's
that.
a commuter. He's a commuting guy. Throwdown is an absolutely spectacular episode of television.
Totally.
It is probably the funniest episode of the first 13, maybe tied with Vitamin D, because Vitamin D is very, very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And also some great character stuff in that episode.
Yeah.
Some great character stuff
Like
between
when
Will and Sue.
like stands up and goes, "We're leaving. I'm out."
That's the problem. Where's the fire? That's the problem. There is no fire. And when she's talking about how down and out all of her kids are, and Mercedes goes, "My dad's a dentist."
My dad's a dentist.
It's so good.
fun.
That's also got No Air with
yes.
Rachel and Finn walking through the halls with the biggest fan setting on their hair as like kids pass in front of them. Hysterical.
Is Throwdown also the episode where there's the clip of all of them just like singing? Like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
What are they
Ride
singing?
with me.
Ride with me. Oh my God, that episode is so good. It's such a great
Must be the
episode.
money. What are we supposed to do? Just sway in the back like props? Now we got many time guests in the podcast. You know her, you love her. She was on season 1, episode 17, Bad Reputation. She was on season 2, episode 12, Silly Love Song. She was on season 3, episode 19, Promosaurus. And then we took a long hiatus because all of us got way too busy with our lives. And she returned in season 6, episode 12, 2009. She is EP of this podcast. She was the first person to ever hear a single episode of this podcast that wasn't Lena or myself.
What the fuck is EP again? Producer? Executive
producer.
I remember. EP became its own thing to me.
It's now just her government name at this point. It is EP Tiffani Allen.
Hello to my favorite 20-something randos, my favorite Gleeks. Hi, it's EP Tiff here. I have so many things to say, but I'll just answer your questions in order here. Okay, starting with my favorite episode. This was hard for me to narrow down, so I'm doing a section that goes together and then my honorable mention. So
She's
season
just
1,
like us for real.
Episode 13, which is sectionals, into episode 14, which is hello. I love both of these episodes individually, and then I think they both represent such a great transition of the show being like this whole like pilot set of episodes into the next phase of the show, and combining those together, and of course bringing in one of my favorite characters of all time, Jesse St. James. So that's my episodes, with honorable mention to Bad Reputation, season 1, episode 17, Run Joey Run Forever, baby.
Love.
And then she has a part 2 to that.
I realized I didn't say enough about my episodes, so here's more about my favorite episodes to tag on.
She's just like us for
that
real.
section. So I picked sectionals because it is some of my favorite music. They are having so much fun. The episode makes me emotional every time. It's fun to watch them lead up to this big, huge performance, and it just captures that feeling of like your high school performance. You know, we keep talking about how we always are chasing after that feeling of doing high school theater, how there's nothing like it, and this like has that same energy and has that same feeling. And so when I think of Glee, I think of this kind of experience and this kind of thing. So it's my favorite episode for like nostalgia reasons. I think there's great jokes in there. There's great performances in there. It's a great encapsulator of what Glee is. And then going into Hello of what it becomes and what it can be, and some great music. Oh my gosh, great performances. And I love it. I love them. It gives me such a giddy feeling when I watch these episodes together.
That's how you know Tiffani is a true friend of ours. The way that she's like, my favorite episode is actually 3 different episodes.
Yeah.
And then her being like, I actually didn't say enough about why it was my favorite, so I have to say another
I need to keep going,
voicemail."
please. I love that. Also, great episodes. I was thinking about Hello this morning. I was listening to like, Hello, I Love You, Won't You Tell Me Your Name? I was like, oh my God.
Hell! Oh!
Also, it gives you hell.
My God.
Give me a break.
Gives you... I like the way that the Glee cover of Gives You Hell rerouted the direction of my life. Oh my gosh. I felt things I had never felt before. That was when I first felt angst.
Felt rage.
Was when I heard Leah Michelle sing Gives You Hell. Oh my gosh. And I remember I went to scout camp that summer, and one of the scouts was singing it. And I was like, oh, I love that song. And I knew all the words. And we were having this like, you know, male bonding moment over this song.
Of course.
And in my mind, I was like, this would immediately shut down if he knew that the reason I do it is because it was done on Glee.
All American Rejects, who?
Seriously.
Rejected
I don't
out of
think
my
so.
face.
All American McKinley Rejects, The New Directions, baby. That's who wrote that song. Oh. Great descriptions. Great episodes all around.
Yeah.
Thank you to all our special guests.
An amazing group of people.
Seriously, a fantastic group of people. Thank you for being a part of this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for, you know, putting your stamp on it, joining us for those episodes. Yeah. And we'll hear some more from you in future superlatives. But for the time being, let's keep going down the list.
Let's rank the season.
Oh, mama. I forgot
okay.
that this one was so early on the list. Holy cow, we put the heavy hitters. We really front-loaded this thing.
And listen, I thought about this hard. I think this is the hardest I've ever worked for this podcast, was to rank the seasons. I moved them around a couple times. I, again, don't know if I would agree with this tomorrow, but I do think with my personal preference, I know that we're not going to agree. But it is my personal preference. Okay. Let's do our ranking. I was thinking like, I'll just tell you the numbers and then, or should I go down like the list? Should I start with my worst and then give you the reasons?
Yeah, maybe do worst and give you the reasons.
And then work our way up.
Just give me a reason, just a little bit's enough. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so,
on the bottom, you have to do it as Abby Lee Miller.
On the bottom, we've got 4. Season 4.
Give me the reasons, baby. Why season 4?
Here are my high points of this season. And because there are high points.
Yes,
and the high points namely are the friendship between Marley and Unique is one of my favorite things on this television show. It is like a shining moment. Specifically, they sing, every time they sing together, it is like in the playlist of my favorite songs, the songs they sing together are like, they're in there. Like, Locked Out of Heaven and Blow Me One Last Kiss. Like, come on. Like,
blow me, open parentheses, one last kiss, close parentheses.
On this thing, it said blow me, and I was like, I'll be not crass, but it just says blow me, exclamation point. Like,
blow me. One last kiss. Blow me. One last kiss.
Low point, the whole plot, unfortunately. All the craziest episodes are in this season, and it's bad. But even sitting down to watch it, it is better than I remembered.
Yes.
So it's got some high points in there, and it's got its own merit. Even when I hate Glee, I still love it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hello. Next, we've got season 5. A high point for me, Puppet Master. There's so much fun stuff here. So much fun stuff here. Getting to know Blaine a little more. It's just way better than I remember. Low point is like the whole back half for me. I'm not a New York girl.
I would never want to live there.
Never. It's just it's not for me. It's really not for me. Next, we've got season 6. I love season 6. This is where we're taking a turn. High point for me is just it's throwing shit at the wall and it's having fun and it's like getting back to its roots and just I love it. I really think it's really something special and like I don't like the final episode. I don't love so much of it. Like the Sue episode, but like Hurt Locker part 1 and 2 is like one of my favorite like duets of episodes. Give me a break. The fucking season is great. Next, we've got season 3. The high for me, the motherfucking treble tones. Asian F. Low point, Finn Hudson outing Santana.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, this is where I know we're going to disagree.
Oh, I already know.
I mean, it's just personal preference. And I think we've made that clear. Like, if you listen to the podcast, this is our personal preference. The next one for me is season 1. I know. I love season 1. High point, it's the motherfucking icon. She's an icon. She's a legend. She is the moment.
Now,
Vitamin
come on
D,
now.
Home, Funk, Journey to Regionals. Get out of my face. Like, I love this season. It is amazing. But I have to say, season 2 is my best season. To me, it hits the balance to me of like funny as fuck, but also confident with a lot of money. And I love her. And also,
its superpower is money.
Its superpower is money. Hello. But also, you guys, get the fuck out of my face. Warbler Nation, rise up.
Fair.
I'm as basic as they come. You put Darren Criss in this TV show and I will love it. I don't care if he's boring. He's an amazing singer. Like,
and he's charming.
He is. I love the Warblers. I love Klain. I'm like shaking. I love this season so much. Finn Hudson being a hot motherfucking rock star. He's hot as fuck in this season. Give me a break. It's also it hits that balance of funny and sincere to me. I listened to the season 2 playlist and it like hurt my body. It was so
bangerang.
Like I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
God. And then blame it on the alcohol. Born This Way. Fruit. Prom Queen. I rest my case.
Absolutely.
That's my ranking of the seasons. And it is definitive. It will never change. Just kidding. It might change tomorrow. Tell me your ranking.
Okay, so I really have 4 spots because I have like a definitive first, a definitive second, and then like 2 that are kind of like duking it out for third and 2 that are duking it out for last. But I do think that one edges out the other a little bit.
Okay.
So I think that the first few episodes of season 4 are bad. And I think the back few episodes of season 5 are bad. Yeah. And so that's what I have a hard time with. And I agree with you that both of these seasons were much better than I remembered upon rewatch. Specifically, after like Thanksgiving and a little bit before Thanksgiving, they allow the McKinley stuff in season 4 to be sillier and it gets more fun. Those first few episodes of season 4, I feel like it's really trying to be a drama all the way across.
Totally.
And then they let the McKinley stuff get sillier and it kind of saves the show. However, I did agree with you and I put season 4 last.
Yeah.
I was looking at my superlative list for past seasons and under season 4, I had put Shooting Star as the worst episode, but I had put like so many honorable mentions that I was like,
Yeah.
This is my worst season.
And it's also all the bad episodes are in season 4, unfortunately.
Yeah, like a lot of like the worst episodes of the entire series. Like there are some major high points. Boys and Girls on Film is honestly like maybe a
so
top 10
awesome.
episode of the entire series for me. But like there are multiple really low point episodes in season 4.
Yeah.
Like really, really low point. It takes them a while to find their footing with the newbies. And I think they start to find it, but those first few episodes, I do not care about any of the newbies, and I hate the like Rachel becoming hot stuff in New York.
Ugh,
I don't.
Jesus.
This season and we have a hard time with each other. Have a hard time with each other. Season 5, it gets crazier. The newbies are more fun. Blaine's insane. There's a couple high points. City of Angels, one of my favorite competition episodes Glee ever did, and makes me emotional. That's kind of like my biggest high point. I also really love Puppet Master. There's a lot more emphasis on Artie and Tina, which I appreciate because they really take a backseat in season 4. I just feel like they let all these characters. It's got Nasty Rhythm Nation in it. Excellent number.
Oh my God.
Low point of season 5, the New York back half. I agree. The front half has Pamela Lansbury, which has some interesting stuff in it. Yeah. It's got some fun songs. And also it's got Santana a lot more than season 4 does. Yeah. So that kind of edges it out. So I think season 5 above season 4 for me. And then, season 6 and season 3 is a different cue. Because what I have written down here on my page that I wrote yesterday is that I ranked season 6 above season 3, but I think I'm going to reverse that decision.
Okay.
I love season 6. And I'm kind of with you. It's like 4 and 5, and then we like take a big jump, and now we're here. I love season 6. High point, the newbies are so compelling. The newbies are so interesting. High point, Hurt Locker. High point, Homecoming. Low point, a lot of this season is just about getting Rachel back to Broadway.
Yeah.
And also I feel like this season goes out with a whimper, not a roar. So I'm going to put it at 4. I think it starts very strongly. It ends a little weakly. Season 3, I think, is probably the most inconsistent season of the entire show. It has some of the absolute best plotlines Glee ever did, back to back, sharing the same episode with some of the absolute worst plotlines Glee ever did. We got the Trouble Tones, iconic. We got Skank Quinn, very, very fun. We got like Santana coming out, which starts very exciting and iconic and then ends absolutely terribly. We have like the Glee Club winning nationals, which is very exciting. We have all the stuff with Femme Fatale, Sebastian Smythe. But lest we forget, we also have Santana being outed and then having Finn sing Girls Just Want to Have Fun. We have Sue getting pregnant for no reason.
Seriously.
We have Quinn getting hit by a car and falling in love with Joe.
Who?
Like, there's a lot of stuff in this season that's like, which is true. A bunch of different people were writing the show, but like, our writers not talking to each other. What's going on?
Yeah.
But this season ends with a roar. It is a very rocky road getting there, but the end of this season with props into nationals, into goodbye is fantastic. Yeah. And I think that really puts it over the edge for me over season 6.
Yeah.
And also it's got more Santana than season 6. So.
Yeah, totally.
Then I have season 2 in second. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of personal preference. Season 2 and season 1 are both excellent episodes of television. The high points of season 2, it's much more of an ensemble show. Mm-hmm. We flesh out a lot of the background characters so that they are becoming co-leads instead of background characters. It's also got really wonderful season-long storylines about like Kurt and him, feeling ostracized, then finding a place where he belongs and building confidence, and then Santana coming to terms with her sexuality. I love all of that. And it's got some really fun numbers. It's also got Sam and Blaine. Season 1, though, has a specific underdog feel to it that the show was incapable of ever capturing again, simply because the show was no longer an underdog.
Yeah.
And the show
her superpower
became
is money.
exactly. The show's superpower became money. And Glee is always more special to me when it is contained and small and weird.
Yeah.
And the bigger it got, the more that I lost that. So season 1 will always be my girly.
Yeah, I love that. And I knew it would be like that. I like that we had the same ranking other than our top 2. And you know what? That makes sense. And I was not surprised by that. Wow, that really made me like shake. I got too excited. I need to take a breath. Up next, like, best part, worst part for plots. Because this show, you know, it's got crazy plots.
It's got plots.
Tell me, Ian, your worst part, your least favorite plot line of this entire show.
This is the one that I wrote a paragraph for, and I will just list them.
I want you.
I will list them, and then I will describe the one that I chose as the winner.
Okay.
Finn kissing Emma. Quinn coming back in 100, having fully regressed as a character to be who she was in season 1, only to be saved by Noah Puckerman, and for them to sing a duet about how they're going to go on a first date. I don't
literally
think
trauma
so.
blocked that out.
Horrific. Sue getting pregnant only for the baby to never be seen again.
Seriously.
Why? What was the purpose of that? We got some great Ross Washington jokes, but what was the purpose?
Oh my God.
Bert running for Congress. Why? What? Quinn getting hit by a car and then being the bad guy for learning how to walk and doing it at prom. Santana and Quinn giving up prom queen to Rachel because the writers want us to believe that Rachel had such a hard time in high school. But what takes the cake for me is the entire Rachel plot from end of season 3 to end of season 5. Seeing this girl get everything she wanted, having her choke on her Nyada audition just to get in anyway, while Kurt does not get in, and then have her go to Nyada and struggle with Cassie only to get a surprise performance at the winter concert and then like have everyone be so impressed with her and then immediately book the first Broadway audition she ever goes to, and also like her first audition in New York pretty much.
Also like
and then
basically her first audition ever.
Yeah. And then go on to star in Funny Girl in season 5. I really loved Rachel as a character, and just seeing all these things work out for her without any conflict made me lose a lot of my affection for her in such a drastic way, and it is so upsetting, and it's so anti-Glee to me to see someone have so much success with so little effort. What about you?
Well, I agree with all those. Those are crazy. But I think the one that is most personally offensive to me, Lena Page can answer.
Yes,
is
LPC.
The eating disorder Marley's plot.
Terrible.
Like,
terrible.
There are so many episodes of this show that handle disordered eating and like a difficult relationship with food in a better way than. And there were so many ways that if they wanted to include this, they could have. But like the gaslighting, the weirdness towards Marley's mom is just like, for what? Like, for what?
Everyone blaming her for the fact that they lost sectionals.
Oh my God. What on earth?
Yo.
Like, I'm out. It really sucks. Some of the high points of that are like her relationship with Finn is really nice.
Yes.
And I like Marley. But like, Jesus. That. My God. It's just like, I remember when we were covering that part of the show, I was just like, it was not fun for me to watch this show. And, God. All right. Tell me about your favorite plot.
I love a lot about Glee, but I think looking at the show as a whole, I think I have realized that my favorite plot is the Kurt plot through seasons 1 through 3, specifically his relationships with Bert and hot take Karofsky. Kurt and Bert, there's not really much more that needs to be said. Some highlights include laryngitis.
Yeah.
You know, Kurt faking who he thinks his dad wants him to be and trying to work towards his approval only to be like, I can't do it. And it's so tragic because he sees his dad bonding with Finn and he feels like he's being replaced. And so him trying to become Finn only to be like, I can't do this anymore. I have to break free of this. And then we get Rose's turn. Amazing. And we have a very beautiful conversation between Bert and Kurt where they're both wrong and they're both right. Where, you know, they both get to air their grievances with each other and then express love to each other. And that is so beautiful. And then, like, hot take, the Karofsky stuff, like Kurt being isolated and, you know, Karofsky bullying him is like great drama. But I specifically love, I think it speaks so highly of Kurt's character, the way that he treats Karofsky after the fact. And once again, if you're being bullied by someone, you do not owe them anything.
Yeah.
You do not owe them forgiveness. You do not owe them like being kind to them. But I do love Kurt seeing the pain and fear behind Karofsky's actions and moments like him in Prom Queen saying to Karofsky, like, you could really make a difference here, like, please. And Karofsky saying, I can't. And then, although I don't love the Karofsky, you know, trying to take his own life in season 3, the conversations he has with Kurt and begging for Kurt's forgiveness and Kurt saying, like, I know things seem really hard right now, but like, picture your life in 10 years. Like, you need to work towards that life. I just think all of that is really powerful. And I really just like Kurt as a character and his path through like kid who is bullied in season 1 and is quiet and doesn't have any friends to like very confident and kind of being a leader for other people by season 3, I think is really beautiful.
Yeah.
What's your favorite plotline?
You know, mine is very similar. But it's the Hummel Hudsons.
Yeah, baby.
There's so much about this show I love so much that I could go on and on about. Like, I love Britannia. I love Quinn's pregnancy storyline. I love so much, like, oh my God, don't even get me, like, but the Hummel Hudsons to me is one of my favorite things about this show, about a school club. Like, you know, these two kids who are so different becoming brothers over the course of this television show is very special to me. Like, Bert Hummel is my favorite character of this television show, I think, by a long shot. Something about, like, having the, like, you know, the perfect dad on a television show. Well, he's not perfect, but, like, him showing up and giving his kids so much love and support and, like, amazing guidance. It's just, like, is so lovely to have on this television show. But, like, when Carol and Bert get married and Finn sings Just the Way You Are to Kurt. And then also, like, what Lucas said, like, Finn showing up for Kurt, like, in his time of need and, like, being an advocate and ally for him. Oh my God, I just love them. What? Oh, Jesus, the best. I love them. So I think that's my favorite plot line. There's so many I could talk about, though, but that's the one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
How about our favorite out-of-pocket storyline?
So my mindset for this was, I kind of viewed it as like a guilty pleasure plotline.
Okay.
Because I was like, out of pocket, like, I love the Hurt Locker. It's out of pocket. It's crazy. But, like, I'm not embarrassed of that fact. Like, no. I think the Hurt Locker is just, like, on paper good. It's crazy, but it's good.
Yeah.
So my favorite out-of-pocket storyline, where I'm like, they really shouldn't have done this, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad they did, is Shelby the Return.
You're crazy.
You're crazy
for this.
Season 3. The return of Shelby Corcoran to McKinley High brings up so much drama, so much soap opera madness. First of all, the treble tones do not exist without Shelby Corcoran.
Yeah.
That whole plot line, one of my favorite plot lines in the entire series, is incited by Shelby Corcoran entering McKinley High. Yeah. Sugar Mata does not exist without Shelby Corcoran. And once again, I hate this bitch. She sucks. But I can't deny that she brings chaos in her wake.
True.
And it is interesting. And also, like, ethically, it's horrible. But the Quinn, Puck, Shelby stuff is high soap opera drama. It's insane to watch. It is absolutely bonkers to watch. Yeah. And so this is why I'm saying it's out of pocket in the sense that I'm like, it shouldn't have happened. But like, I can't deny, I can't look away.
Oh yeah. That's such a good one.
Quinn fully tries to trick Puck into getting her pregnant again. What on earth? It's so
Girlie's down
wild.
bad. Also, like, Puck, like, kind of being with Shelby.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one I was purposely not talking about because I didn't want to get hate. But yeah, Puck and Shelby fully dating. I mean, I don't, but I do love the drama. I'm a messy bitch who loves drama.
Sorry about it.
And Quinn delivering the opening monologue of Control straight to Shelby. Come on.
Oh my God, I just got sweaty.
This is a story about control, my control.
Control of what I say and control of what I do.
And this time, I'm going to do it my way. And then she flips Shelby the bird. Iconic.
When I was 17. They should have had her take the lead on that song.
They really should have. It's stupid. That
they had like two girls in that club and they can't give... Yeah. Whatever.
And Quinn only sings one line and then speaks a monologue that whole competition. I'm over it. But Shelby the Return.
Hey.
It is just
that's such a good thought.
Exciting TV.
I hate that bitch.
And then she rides off into the sunset, never to be seen again, except to sing one song with Rachel in season 4.
If our podcast did one thing, I hope it pulled the wool off of America's fucking eyes about Shelby Corcoran.
Yes.
She's the devil.
Also, the drama with her and Rachel.
Oh,
where
God.
Rachel shows up and is like, why didn't you tell me you were teaching here?
That should be illegal. And I think it is.
And then Shelby helps her prepare for a West Side Story audition. It's all so crazy.
She needs to get out of here. But honestly, it's such fun.
All right. What's your fave out of pocket plotline?
Terry Schuster. Delmonico. Pretending to be pregnant. And also drugging teenagers.
Amazing.
I can't believe that happened. And it brought such fun. What the hell? I love it. She's pretending to be pregnant. That's so out of pocket.
With a man that she shares a bed with.
I know. And the way she keeps fucking him to try and get pregnant, it's actually really sad. But it's so campy, the way that this show, does it. I don't know.
Okay, that's the deal with Glee.
Yeah.
Glee operates in a different reality.
Yeah.
And sometimes they go too far, and it's okay, no, but that is heroin.
Yeah.
But, we have to accept that you just have to let it go. Things in Glee are heightened and crazy, and, yes, of course, this is unethical. But, this whole show is wild and crazy, so, pardon me, get over it and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. But yeah. Especially Vitamin D. That whole episode is buck
amazing.
Wild.
Amazing. God, I love that episode so much.
I know, me too.
Holy cow. We got some guest appearances to weigh on this. All right. First up, please welcome back to the podcast our friend and yours, Lucas Graden from Typecasting Pop Culture by the Numbers.
If I had to pick my least favorite or most out-of-pocket storyline from the show, I think it's Quinn at the beginning of season 3, and specifically the Shelby and Puck relationship, because gross. And also I think Quinn had so much potential. Skank Quinn had so much potential. And it is kind of written off so quickly, but there's still this weird and, for me, just not that entertaining underhanded deceit storyline that they're going for. And they're ignoring the real problems in that story of Shelby, a teacher, dating Puck. So, yeah, I could do without that.
You know,
Yeah.
And one man's least favorite plotline is another man's camp classic. What can I say?
Hey.
Now we got Tiffani Allen weighing in.
The worst out-of-pocket storyline, in my opinion, is the Quinn car crash on the way to Finn and Rachel's wedding. For a lot of reasons, like the convolutedness of the wedding, and then like also the PSA-ness of it all with the texting and driving thing. It just, and I feel like it took characters backwards in a way that wasn't fun to watch afterwards. Yeah, so I think it was a blunder on the show, and then also just like not. Oh, it was just a downer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Quinn stuff is so crazy.
Every
Season
Quinn plot
3?
is wild. Every Quinn thing is crazy.
They put that girl through hell. Oh my gosh.
Just let her live. Let her be happy.
We talk about it on My Way. But everything else that Quinn has gone through is wild, but you can at least like kind of connect the dots if you really try.
Yeah.
Her getting hit by a car is pointless. It is like vindictive. That they are like mad that this character is still on the show. So they have a car hit her while she's driving to the wedding. It's insane. All right. Here's Vicky and Shane.
My favorite unhinged plotline from the show is unfortunately probably going to have to be when Tina hits her head in the fountain and becomes Rachel Berry for the day. And they make a big stink about how Tina is going to be like a soloist in Glee Club next year and she's going to get so much more to do. Mm-hmm. And then they just go ahead and don't do that at all for the remainder of the show. Yeah, just absolutely insane to give a whole episode to that and then just really not follow through with it.
My most out-of-pocket storyline is the Jigsaw when
Yes!
Sue kidnaps Kurt and Blaine to force them to get back together. And that's in the last season, I believe, if I remember. Or I'm also a big fan of the grilled cheeses.
Classic, yeah.
It's iconic.
Oh my god.
Can't be beat.
For sure.
Grilled cheeses.
Thank you, grilled
motherfucking
cheeses.
love that episode. I will see on Twitter people like posting like Taylor Swift Easter eggs that are like so unhinged, and people will comment back, you guys would believe in grilled cheeses. Like, it's so funny. I love grilled cheeses.
Gosh.
Losing My
grilled
Religion, that's
cheeses.
such a good episode. Why haven't I thought about that? Oh my god.
Also, truly, it is like just straight up mean-spirited to have this whole episode that's like, don't worry, we know Tina's been mistreated.
Oh my
but
god.
it's only because she's going to take over once everyone graduates. And then
Yeah.
immediately open season 4 with going, so the leader of the club is Blaine. And he's splitting it with Marley. It's horrible.
Jesus, that's so crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now we have an enemy of the podcast
Get him off my podcast.
who sent in their thoughts about.
Okay, this is out.
That sent in their thoughts about different plot lines.
Okay, this is Alex. Time number 3. My toddler and his friend keep screaming in the background. So, I picked my own categories kind of in a way because the best worst episode was too overwhelming for me and I couldn't find my previous superlatives. Crazy plot lines. My favorite crazy plot line, I think I have to say The Hurt Locker with Sue. I just think it's so crazy and I still loved it even though it was crazy. There's other less crazy plot lines that I loved even more, but I was trying to pair with the crazy. My worst crazy plot line, without doing obvious shooting star and insensitive episodes that were obviously worse, but my worst without those would be Will seducing Sue. I hated that. That made me want to die. Wish. Oh, the one that I wish was more followed through is Sue's League of Doom with like Sandy Ryerson and Terry and all them. I just thought that was really funny, and they didn't do as much with it as I wish they had.
If you're wondering why Alex is in any of the podcast, re-listen to the beginning of that message when he goes, I made up my own categories.
Just make your own podcast at this point, Alex.
Seriously, my gosh, if you can't be bothered, then whatever.
Those are good ones, though. League of Doom.
League of Doom, this is why Night of Neglect is an episode that's like a knife in the heart to me.
Yeah.
Because it has all the makings of an episode I love, written by Ian Brennan. Mm-hmm. A situation where a lot of different characters are going to get solos. Yeah. And the return of the League of Doom, how exciting. And it mismanages and bungles all of them.
Yeah.
I just, what could have been with League of Doom?
Yeah.
Was tragic. And here's Zach Faust's least favorite out-of-pocket plotline.
I love Zach.
And what is the worst out-of-pocket storyline? To me, it is the Hurt Locker. I don't care at all what either of you say. That is my least favorite out-of-pocket storyline that the show had to offer. Okay, I love you. Congratulations on hitting all of these episodes. You guys are wonderful. We'll talk soon.
We will not be talking soon, Zach. No. You are banned from the podcast. You are blacklisted from both of our lives. Lose our numbers.
I just think you're wrong.
For him to come into our podcast and insult our child that way.
On the eve of our daughter's wedding.
Exactly. At our podcast funeral, to come in and spit into the casket like that is so disrespectful. So horrifying. I literally cannot even believe it.
It just makes me sad.
It's just like, what is it like to have a sense of humor that is just so broken? Like, do you need to like go to the doctor? It's just like sad to imagine someone having to
Do you not like the Saw movies?
Someone having to like go through life like that.
Are you too afraid to reference?
Are you too scared to reference or not reference?
Literally.
Zach, I think it might help you if you rewatch those episodes and consider the fact that Sue secretly being a claim shipper all this time is hilarious.
Yeah.
And Sue having
Who cares if it doesn't make sense? I just want to have some fun.
Her having a secret shrine with pictures of them and footages from a dream sequence that they had.
How did she even get that?
Is comedy gold. And also that it's got banger songs in it. So How about that? Take that to the bank.
What about father figure? Why aren't we talking about father figure more? Come on!
Zachary, goodness gracious.
Mr. Faust.
Ugh. We're now on to the final section of our superlatives. The most competitive section as well.
Oh, this was rough for me. Rough but fun. Fun but rough.
Yes, yes.
And again, I think this is the one that I said it before, but I really mean it this time. I don't know that I'll agree with myself tomorrow, especially for this one. There's just so many songs. Let's talk about fave solo.
Okay.
My fave solo, and I do think this one will stick through. What? Like, stick through? I don't know if that makes sense.
I understand.
Thank you. I'm not going to teach your boyfriend how to dance with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make me.
Mm-hmm.
This song to me is everything. It's everything to me. The song is amazing. B, the shit that's going on during the song is like, there's so many songs that have like almost no purpose in Glee.
Yeah.
And I think a song like this could, like, it's a Blaine song. Like, what's it for in the plot? I don't know.
He doesn't even go to this school. Why is he singing at their prom?
Seriously. But like them overlaying the Jesse and Finn fight is genius storytelling. I get chills every time. It's not just a banger. It's a heavy hitter in this episode, in this television show. It's just like perfect to me. So that's my favorite solo in this show. And I'm sorry about it. What's your...
keep it PG. It's none of YB. Your business. Oh! Remember when we read that fanfic for a Patreon episode that takes place right after that scene? And Finn and Jesse hate each other.
Oh my
and then
God.
Finn gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Everyone join our Patreon.
Woo! Woo! Preg. Give it up.
It's so crazy.
I love it.
Oh my God. I genuinely
People can put anything on the internet.
Really, that's what's crazy. Is there is no one screening what you post on fanfiction.net. You can put anything you want up there. I cannot watch that episode without when they both get ejected from the prom being like, well, they're about to go bang.
Honestly, I love that.
Oh, crazy. Crazy.
What's your favorite solo?
My favorite solo, this is the solo that I listen to the most from Glee. Valerie.
Oh, it's such a good one. Yeah, of course.
Genuinely, Valerie's an amazing song, and I do love the Amy Winehouse version. But something about Naya Rivera's performance, I prefer the Naya Rivera version.
It's amazing.
I listen to it all the time, and then when you watch it and combine it with Heather Morris and Harry Shum Jr.'s dancing, unbeatable.
So good.
Amazing.
Worst solo.
Yeah, so some of these worsts, it was more like a gut feeling. It wasn't like I'm gonna go through all 600 and 70 songs on Glee and say which one I hate the most. It was more like what viscerally feels like the worst, and I think it is for me Thong Song.
That's what I said too.
Girl, and that's the right answer.
The odds of that are madness.
It just is so ridiculous, but not funny. Like, it's absolutely insane that a premise that inherently campy is somehow not campy at all.
Yeah, and if they would have made it a mashup,
yes,
I think I would have enjoyed it.
Yes, throw in I Could Have Danced All Night in there, and I'm on board. Is that what the song is that they're supposed to smash it up with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they just didn't want to work that hard.
It's laziness.
And it didn't have to be good. It did not have to be good.
In fact, it probably would be more enjoyable if it wasn't good if you mashed up those two songs. It'd be funny.
Yeah. It is supposed to be bad.
It is just as if the writing and the directing and performances, there was a miscommunication. Mm-hmm. Like, to have Emma in Princess Diana's wedding dress and have Will perform the thong song is so stupid and silly.
Also offensive. Just
Truly.
Yeah.
That's the people's princess. Don't subject her to this.
No, seriously.
And yet the execution is so...
It's bad.
straightforward. Really is so trying to be sexy.
And, earnest, twerking on this woman in a Princess Diana gown. I'm out. I'm out. It is personally offensive to me.
That episode, I love those first 13 episodes of Glee. That's a lie. I love 12 of them because mashup sucks really bad.
And also there's no mashups in the mashup episode.
Yeah, no mashup.
No mashup.
I'll never forget. Horrific.
Don't lie to me.
Bad episode.
Bad. Ugh. Duet.
Okay.
I have 2.
Whoa. I have 3.
Go for you.
Who wants to go first?
Should you do one? I'll do one. You do one. I'll do one.
Okay.
You do one.
Okay. I'll say my first one. I'll say the one that I think probably is the least likely to actually be my favorite, which is More Than a Feelin'. Genuinely, I think this is just on paper a fantastic cover of this song. However, there's plenty of duets on the show that are on paper fantastic cover of this song. I think this one just has a lot of emotional weight to me because it's Tina's big moment finally.
Yeah.
Jenna Ushkowitz sounds amazing.
Yeah, seriously.
And then also like the fin of it all makes me emotional. And so that all really gives it some bonus points and put it into the top 3 as of yesterday. But as you said, these rankings are ever shifting.
Oh, ever shifting.
All right, what's yours?
Faithfully. Oh
Heck
my God. And I like the moment of Finn telling Rachel that he loves her and then them going out and singing this song like into the audience. It's like my favorite Rachel song, I think, bar none. It is so incredible to me. Like, they sound amazing. It like hurts my feelings in the worst. I like can't listen to it. I listened to it this morning and I like died. Like, it really, I was like getting red and splotchy. It really makes me emotional. I love that song.
Trying to think how I ordered these last 2. Because I also put Faithfully.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you said it all, girl. I don't have anything to add. It's amazing.
Wait, what's the next one you said? Maybe we have the same one. 1, 2.
River Deep.
Mountain High. No, I put that somewhere else. Wait.
Where else did you put that?
It's not a mashup.
It's not a mashup. That's one song. You better think of a mashup quick.
Well, I have another mashup. But I'll put that one on too.
I put River Deep Mountain High as my third. And like really, honestly, Faithfully and River Deep Mountain High are kind of neck and neck for me. River Deep Mountain High is like so fun, and like Naya and Amber are 2 of the best vocalists on the show. It's the first time they duet. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But the emotional weight of Faithfully, like I cannot get over.
Yeah.
It is like, and when the curtains rise on the whoa, as Leah Michelle is like, I'm still yours. It's like,
no, it's amazing.
Brings a tear to my eye.
Absolutely.
So they give me different things. I don't know if I can pick between the 2 of them.
I also put Smooth Criminal.
Great pick.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Like, come on. The Flash, dueling cellos. Get out of my face. It was taped to my underboob. Like, get out. I can't. It's amazing. Mashup. I have other mashups.
Wait, worst duet? You don't have to have one, but I do have one.
I don't have one.
Worst duet. I did a lot of research. I was looking through worsts that I had in previous superlatives, and I was rewatching them. And there are a lot of worsts that are like shocking. Like, why did they do this? Like, this is such a bad pick. But I have to say, I genuinely think the worst duet on this show is Candles.
Oh my God. So
sad.
Yes.
It is supposed to be such a like emotional culmination moment. So it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
Because it should be like a pinnacle moment of this TV show. The song is a breakup song that they're using to like get this pair together. And then also like much love to these 2 singers. They're both very talented. They don't sound very good.
No, it's not a great song for them.
Like they're pitchy, the mixing is off. And also I think this is a character choice, and I don't think it's like out of character for Kurt. But Chris Colfer is like playing very nervous.
He's
and
like,
it just comes off as uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He's very like, his hands are glued to his thighs, and he keeps like peeking at the audience all awkwardly. And like, sure, it's charming, but also you're in a competition. Like,
exactly.
Be professional.
Come on.
Like, buck up. What on earth? It's bad. It is a bad cover.
That's mine too.
Yeah.
Which makes me so sad because A, I like that song. B, I like these 2, and like where they're at in their relationship is so sweet. And there could have been so many other songs that they could have sang to like get across that feeling of like new love and new excitement and like Kurt being comfortable in this club and like getting a solo or like getting to sing. Like, you know, this is such an exciting time. Why the fuck did they do Candles? Like,
yeah, it's bad. And also like, this is not their fault. But when you watch the video, it then shows the New Directions watching in the audience, and they are wearing the ugliest competition outfits they ever wear in the whole series. And so I'm docking extra points for that.
Is it the blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are heinous. They are fugly. I hate those dresses. They look bad on all of them. Oh my
Seriously.
gosh.
And it's the one where they're wearing like the capri pants underneath the capri
capri tights
with the boots.
With
so
boots.
Funny. With boots.
Oh,
and listen,
woof.
I'm a girl who to this day, you can't get me out of 2013. I can't stop wearing combat boots with dresses. Who says? But
Yeah.
it's heinous.
Just the two La La Land notes immediately moving on. Who says?
I can't stop. Same with my Converse, you can't make me stop. But it's heinous.
That's just you.
That's just me.
Remember when they were on this show? The writers sure don't.
Oh my God.
Anyways, moving on.
The writers sure don't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen,
This show is crazy.
Pamela Lansbury is fine, but it is boring as all hell.
It could have been a lot.
I know.
It could have been a lot. And Elliot and Danny could have been a lot. And instead they both just vanish.
I know.
Why is it that the New York specific characters disappear as soon as the show moves to New York full time? Make it make sense. America, explain.
Make sense. Wow. Okay. Mashup.
Stupid.
What's your favorite mashup?
Someone Like You rumor has it.
Oh,
Girl.
so good. Of course.
Girl.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
I can read you like a book.
What about you?
I have two. Pretty Unpretty.
Ooh,
I'm not surprised.
It's a great one.
Seriously. And then I have kind of a
River
one
Deep
that's
Mountain High.
I have River Deep Mountain High on here, which that was dumb.
Which River Deep on its own is really good, but then when you mash it up with Mountain High, it somehow elevates both songs.
I don't know why I thought that. I just think, the name of the song.
There's like a slash in the name.
I know
sometimes,
when I critically
confusing.
think about it, it's not a mashup. I think I was just going.
Yes.
And then I have One Less Bell to Answer / House Not Home.
Oh,
I know. It snuck up on me. It snuck up on me. I know.
Great pick.
Thank you.
I'm not meant to live alone. Turn this house into a home.
What about your worst mashup?
Never fully dressed without a smile. That's just the way you look tonight.
Classic.
I'm asleep. I'm
hate
out.
it.
I've turned the TV off. It's
you
homework.
hate that song. No, seriously.
What about you?
I said Don't Stand So Close to Me / Young Girl. Just heinous.
And you're wrong.
Sorry about it.
Don't stand so close to me, young girl. You're out of your mind.
I can't even hear Don't Stand So Close to Me without hearing. You
Neither
better
can I,
run, girl.
because it fits
You're
so well.
much too young,
Girl. We used to, before Friends, the parody musical, we had a playlist that was all songs that had been featured on Friends at some point that would play, as the audience was taking their seats. And based on where it was in the playlist, Don't Stand So Close to Me would always be playing when we got to places. And every night when it got to that part, I'd go, young girl, you're out of your mind. Because I just cannot separate those songs from each other.
Yeah, totally. I think the thing that makes it the worst for me is the plot around it of Rachel being obsessed with Will.
It's iconic.
It just gives me the ickies.
Nah, it's iconic. I disagree.
I mean, who hasn't been in love with their teacher?
Her showing up at their house and Terry putting her to work. That's hysterical. Terry, instead of being like, oh, this poor girl's in love with you, being like, well, if she's here, she might as well clean the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And then Rachel trying to serenade Will from the backseat of his car.
What's the song that she sings?
It's Crush. She goes, ooh, crush. And then she gets one sentence in and he turns it off. I like that plot. Hot take, I think it's funny.
I like it too. I think just when I was like sitting down to like look at all of these, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, iconic episode. That's
Yeah.
when Quinn gets kicked out of her house.
oh yeah.
That
needed
features,
my mom.
I have to go. They'll think I'm pooping.
They'll think I'm
That's in that
pooping.
episode.
Oh my
I
God.
needed my mom. That's also
go,
the
they'll think
episode
I'm
that features the unseen Quinn and Artie ballad duet that I'm
Oh,
still
yeah.
upset was unseen. Great ep.
Great up.
What is a ballad? It's a male duck. Great
What
ep.
about how about our fave group number? What's your favorite
Okay.
group number? I have two, three.
I actually just have one shockingly. I did watch a few. My thing with Glee is like, I have to really ask myself, is this truly your favorite? Like, do you think this one is actually the best? Or do you just have like really strong nostalgic attachment to this one?
Yeah.
Like, because I like really veered towards season 1 because that is when I was the most into Glee. But I was like, okay, but do you really love this one because it's season 1, because it's the best, or just because it's season 1? So I was watching a few and I was like, okay, no, actually I think this one is genuinely the best. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, season 3,
Yeah.
Nationals. Phenomenal. Uses everyone so well. It is like so dynamic and interesting to watch.
Yeah.
It feels exciting. It feels like a culmination. It is like believable that the New Directions won Nationals.
Yeah.
Because every other time they went up against Vocal Adrenaline, I was like, well, of course they lost. Look at what they did.
Yeah, seriously.
All
I
right.
have a
What about
few.
you?
Okay. And I like this was the one to me where I was like, I have to when I Get You Alone was making me sick this morning. Like, yeah, I
Because
can't
you
stop
walk pretty,
listening
because you
to
talk pretty.
it. Hello, because you make me sick. Like, I couldn't stop listening to it, so I had to put it on the list.
Good.
I've literally never thought about it before, but now I guess it's my favorite.
It took over you today.
Yeah. And then I put Bohemian Rhapsody
Ooh, great pick.
for so many reasons. But I think, like, one that's, like, nostalgic to me, one of my favorites, makes me cry every time, is One from Home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, love is a temple, love is a high. Love.
Also, that is from
Oh,
Laryngitis.
it's laryngitis. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
oh, I love laryngitis.
All Killer No Filler.
God, that
For
episode
the podcast,
is
right.
so good. All
It's
Killer No
fantastic.
Filler. God, I love that episode. I'm like Tinkerbell Finn. I need
And
applause to live.
That, seriously, Rose's Turn won Jesse's Girl on the same episode that should have been illegal.
I think that's one of my favorite episodes. Put it on the list.
It's fantastic. It's
Oh my
so
God.
good.
That episode, All Killer No Filler.
Also,
Jesus.
Pink Houses. Let's not forget John
I
Mellencamp.
will literally never forget John Mellencamp.
Valerie Who, Pink Houses, my favorite solo on Glee, bitch.
So good.
For you and me.
But home, like, One to me is, I don't know. It really hits me right in the harpsichord.
Yeah.
It
Every
really-
time I hear that little,
Yeah.
on the harpsichord getting smacked.
I was gonna say like my heart chord, and then it turned into harpsichord, and I thought I was being silly. You know what I mean,
You
though.
were. And
So
you were.
good. When I get you alone, come on, get on our
leaving
till you're leaving.
Great. All right.
All
Do you have
right.
a worst group number?
Yeah,
What is it?
the Chipmunk song. Come on. And it's just like it's not even funny. You can tell they don't want to be doing it. It's annoying. There's like, you know, who the clock, was that your brother? Was that Alex?
Yes. It's not. It's one of his friends' theories. Yeah.
Yes. Where like, you know, if something is too good, it's boring. Or if something is like
Yeah. The further away you get
yeah.
from 12, 12 is peak entertainment.
Yes.
And 12:01 is the best thing you've ever seen in your life. And 11:59 is the worst thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So the less good something gets, the less
Yeah.
entertaining it is until it reaches 6. And then it's like a weird paradox where now it's so bad that the more bad it gets, it actually becomes more entertaining.
Yes. To me, it sits like right at 6 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
or like, 6:01, where it's really bad, but it is mostly boring as hell. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not even campy. Like, you can tell the actors don't want to be doing it. It's stupid. And I don't like it.
Heck yeah, good for you.
What's yours?
I have the Chipmunk song in there as well.
Hell yeah.
I hate any time that Glee really tries to be like, but these kids are hot. Like, I have eyes. I know they're hot. Stop making them constantly be like, oh, I'm so hot and flirty and sexy. And listen to me sing an Alvin
we
and the
have sex
Chipmunk
now.
song
Oh my
while
God.
I grind on you. Girl.
Like, watching Kurt sing, like, what about my hula hoop? Like,
While he's like gyrating on Santa.
I'm sorry. I have to go throw up.
Seriously.
Like, I understand Chris Colfer is a handsome person. I don't need to see that.
It's horrible.
Like, all of them, like, trying to have group sex with this Santa. Oh, get it out of my face. I'm leaving.
It's not the best thing I've ever seen. I also have I Want to Sex You Up.
That's a
I
good
Want to Sex
one.
You Up, and
I like that one.
we have a complicated relationship because Sandy
Me too.
Ryerson going, I know you're not singing that song is hysterical.
And, like, they shouldn't be singing this song with, like, high schoolers, but
Yeah.
I like
It's
it.
like it doesn't know what it wants to be because Will Schuester is like fully going for serious sexy.
Yeah.
And then like other elements are going for camp and my brain can't figure it out.
No.
And then honorable mention the stripped down acoustic version of Loser Like Me from New Directions in season 5.
It's vile.
Like that song's lyrics are already bad. And the only way to make it more obvious is to take the beat away from the song and make you really stare eye to eye with these lyrics and go, what
Look
the
right
heck
in its
does that even
butthole.
mean? Seriously, look right in the gaping butthole of this song and go, oh man, something stinks. There's something rotten in here.
Put that
wow.
away.
Horrifying. Horrifying.
Put that away.
Horrifying. Terrible. And
Actually-
it is like supposed to be poor. My gosh. Poor Kevin McHale, Jenna Ushquith, Court Overstreet, and Darren Kritz are trying their best to sell this emotional moment. A turd is still a turd. Like, you can dress it up as much as you want. It's a turd in a ball gown. It is just a bad song.
So bad. Oh my God, that's such a good song.
Seriously. Just earnestly
Jesus.
like, push me up against the locker.
And I like that
Crazy.
song fine, but let me dance.
Oh, LOSER. I can only
I
be
can
who
only
I
be
are.
who I are.
And you can't take that away from me.
No. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that gave me the heebie-jeebies.
All right. Our final one, we do have the audience weighing in for our final superlative. Do you want guest stars first before our answers or guest stars after? Here's the deal. I think I already know your answer and I think you already know mine.
What was it? I don't have it written
Best
down.
song overall.
Oh, best song overall. Yeah, you know mine.
Should we just say ours? Because I feel like everyone knows and then
Yeah, you tell
the
me
special
mine.
guest will be surprised. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yours is obviously New York
Ben.
State of Mind, Marley and Rachel, season 4, episode 1. The new Rachel.
I do like that song.
You eat that song up. Yours is not gonna teach him how to dance with you. He's got 2 left feet and he bites my mood. I'm not gonna teach him how to
And yours
dance,
is
dance.
the Adele mashup.
Heck yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And that's been the same the entire time, too.
Yes, and it has just we only have been more validated in our opinions
Of
upon
course.
watching this show.
And you know what? We're basically scientists.
Mhm.
We had a hypothesis, a theory, and we said this song is my favorite. And you know what we did? We proved it.
We proved it. I do want to say, speaking of the word scientist, that I don't think it's the best of anything, so I couldn't list it, but I do want to shout out The Scientist because it's a very, very, very good cover of that song. And it's a very emotional episode and moment. I feel the same way about my fave as you feel about your fave. And also, like, Game Recognized Game. I also love the song that you chose, and you love the song I chose. It is a phenomenal cover of the song that is beautiful to listen to. But then also in the episode, the emotional stakes that are happening in the song.
Absolutely.
Like, Naira Vera is acting like she's never acted in her whole life during that number.
Yeah.
And then immediately, what did you just say to her? You're lying.
And also, the plot of Santana coming out is so tumultuous.
Mm-hmm.
But this moment, I don't know if it makes it worth it, but maybe it does. It's amazing.
I haven't even told my parents yet. Boom, 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 boom. Like, it is.
So
I'm not
good.
kidding.
No, I've chosen
those like 5 minutes from her
sad.
saying that to her slapping Finn are some of the best 5 minutes of the entirety of Glee.
Oh, easy.
It is
so
so
good.
emotionally
Game Recognized
charged.
Game. That's such a good.
Oh, great moment. All right. Well, let's hear from our friends, see what they got to say. Up first, Andrew McGuire from Gleek of the Week.
Hello, hi. It's Andrew from Gleek of the Week podcast. Thank you so much for inviting me on for this very special episode. I was really desperate for a platform to talk about Glee, and finally it looks like I have one. Thank you. I am here to share my favorite song, and I really juggle it, obviously, a lot. But I feel a constant mainstay is Landslide, and I've discussed my feelings about Landslide ad nauseum on my own podcast. But so if you're a listener of that, this is just going to be rehashing. But I just recall like season 2. I'm a big spoiler junkie. Like, I love for every show. Like, I need to know what's going to be happening coming up. And I remember seeing that they were going to be like exploring Brittany and Santana's relationship more than just like them kind of like kissing each other's necks. And I was like, okay, this is going to be great content, hilarious content at that. Like Santana with those jabs. Santana has like never been like the funniest. Santana jabs are all in season 2, and like Brittany's like dumb jokes are all like the best ones I feel are in season 2. And so I was like, okay, this is going to be a culmination of just like great content gracing my television screen. So I cannot wait. And then like episode airs and I'm like, whoa. I'm fully in tears. It just is so delicately dealt with, this relationship. And, you know, I've kind of harbored feelings for a while. Like, I was upset that like Naya and Heather don't actually get like a vocal standout. Like, Naya does like sing something in the episode version, but it is like a Gwyneth Paltrow solo, and like that she's the only singer here. And I feel as though that's like the apt choice in hindsight, that it's like, okay, these two women, these two girls at the beginning of their coming out experience, really coming to terms, they don't really have a voice, literally, to really formulate what's going on in their coming out experience. And I just love that someone like Holly Holiday can come in and give a voice to the voiceless, I guess, in a sense, and sing this beautiful song. I will admit, I have no idea what this fucking song is about. Like, I do not know what they're singing about. But I'm like looking forward, like I have a general idea, I feel, but I'm like looking forward to like living the rest of my life and being like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just like, this is a beautiful song and I love this storyline, and Britannia means the world to me. And not to toot my own horn, but I mean, like, just being able to share with Heather Morris on our own podcast, like how much this relationship meant, was like a moment for me that I didn't even know was like, I guess, achievable. Like, I didn't even like have it on the bucket list, and like it was achieved, and I'm like, that was very surreal. So Landslide, without a doubt. I mean, come on, it's beautiful. And also, take a look back at the video. Their outfits, impeccable. Impeccable fits all around. No notes for this performance. I love it.
Toot away, Andrew. If you're not listening to Gleek of the Week, what are you doing? Check it out.
What are you doing?
What we're doing right now, talking about Glee songs, is what they do every single episode with a different guest.
I told you my mom was like, that's such a good idea.
Frankly,
like, I know.
Sometimes I get really frustrated with us about it. That I'm like, darn, that's such an amazing idea. Why don't we come up with it?
We didn't come up with it first. For real, I would never have come up with that idea.
No, it never would have crossed my mind.
No way.
Big shout out. Also, fabulous analysis of this song. I so agree with the whole, like, it's kind of beautiful that Brittany and Santana sing backup.
Yeah.
And to have this woman who has lived a life and has, experienced great loss and experienced huge paradigm shifts and huge priority shifts, have her put a voice to what they are starting to experience, but like can't really, vocalize themselves yet. It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
God, I love Brittana. I can't even talk about it.
One time when I was on my cruise, which I refer to as my Eat, Pray, Love era, I hiked to the top of a mountain in Alaska, and you could like oversee the entirety of Juneau, and I listened to Landslide on repeat and cried.
So you get that song. You climbed a mountain and you turned around.
I did. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's what the song's about.
I love that song.
That's fabulous. Whew. All right. Next up, also Gleek of the Week fame, Allison Dodge.
My favorite song has to be Somewhere We Go Sometimes, Somewhere Only We Know. Incredible Blolo. I think when we finally pulled it on the Glacket, I went on like an hour-long rant about it. But it's very important to me and my brain, and it's so good. And honestly, I've seen it on TikTok so much recently. Like sped up a little bit. What's with that? I don't know. But yes, thank you so much, Recovering Gleek. Love you so, so much. And congratulations once again.
Thank you, Allison. Love you too. Also, excellent pick.
Excellent pick.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Kurt saying goodbye to the Warblers. Devastating.
Devastating. I love Warbler Nation Rise Up.
Up next, we got the favorite song of one Lucas Graden from Typecasting Pop Culture by the Numbers.
The best song on Glee, and I may be in the minority here, but literally in my top 50 songs of my entire music listening history from last year, the only Glee cast song to be in my Apple Music replay, yes, I use Apple Music, was Christmas Rapping Glee cast version. It is iconic. It is incredible. It is the best part of season 3's Extraordinary Merry Christmas. Heather Morris, incredible. Queen behavior, and the Cheerios dancing, Tina getting to join the dance. It is incredible. It's perfect, and I have it on repeat all year long. Thanks again. Love you guys so much.
Bah humbug. No, that's too strong. For it is my favorite holiday.
Bah humbug? No.
No, that's
too strong. Because it is my favorite holiday. This number rocks, and it breaks my heart that they cut out like half the song.
Yeah.
Because I would pay money to see that whole thing. This was also during my Eat, Pray, Love era. This was like my most listened to Christmas song was Christmas Rapping.
Good one.
Dang. Now on to Murjanatu's favorite song from Glee.
All right, this one is a callback. My favorite song is from, the episode that we actually got the great opportunity of covering with you guys. I loved when Clayne sang Baby It's Cold Outside. I still listen to that on repeat every time around the holidays. And you know what? I think they kind of made it so... You know what? Can you guys cut that part? But I was really proud of the rest of what I did. Let me try this one more time. I was just really proud of Clayne. They just made that song so lovely to listen to. Hopefully, you guys, that works. I am so sorry.
Oh my God.
But I've tried this like 10 times and I'm late. I love you guys. Bye.
I texted Murjanatu afterwards, and I was like, I'll cut it out if you want, but can I keep all that in because it's very charming?
So
and she
funny.
said, "Do whatever you want." So we
I
have
love
her permission.
her. My angel. Oh my god. Great pick. Interesting
Good
they
pick.
both pick Christmas songs.
I know they love Christmas over at Typecasting. Pop culture by the
do.
numbers.
Pop culture by the numbers.
Holy cow! And very fun that it's like the episode that they were on.
Yeah.
That has her favorite song.
I love that.
Dang.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Here's the one that only Zach Faust.
What is my favorite song? My favorite song is Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Something I love about Zach's voicemail is he's a New Yorker. He's on the go. He doesn't have time to offer soliloquy.
And also, he doesn't need to. Paradise by the
No.
Dashboard Light is amazing.
It's great. It's fantastic.
He did hurt my feelings back there.
Favorite episode, Throwdown, no explanation needed. Favorite song, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, no explanation
No
needed.
explanation.
Least favorite plotline, Hurt Locker, an apology letter needed. An apology letter mandatory.
How can my favorite episode of this television be his least favorite television? Or his least favorite plot? Seriously.
Insane. Insane.
Jigsaw forever.
Jigsaw forever, Zach.
God. Crazy.
Makes me sick.
Makes me sick.
All right.
Because it makes me sick and I'm not leaving
Till you're leaving. All right. Here is the one, the only EP Tiff talking about her favorite song.
Okay, favorite song was also very, very tricky. My favorite song, I decided to go with this song. There's so many good things that came out of this show. So many good arrangements, so many good vocals, great guest stars. But I felt like when thinking about Glee as a whole, I wanted to pick my favorite song that is a group song, that is a Glee number, that is a performance number. And so my favorite song is Run, Joey, Run. No, I'm just kidding. I gotcha. Run, Joey, Run forever. Always my favorite. But for real, kind of out of left field, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I think
Not
it's
out of left
incredible. I
field.
think the choreography in it is great. I think their performances are all great. I think it gives everybody's voices are in it together a lot. I think it's an electric performance on stage and it's great to listen to. So Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And then special mention to Faithfully as well. Always gives me my feels. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for doing this show and for letting me be a part of it in some small way. I love you guys. I'm so proud of you. And this was so fun.
Tiffani is really just cut from the same cloth as us.
Yeah.
Paradise by the Dashboard Light, Faithfully, come on, girl. Great
Yeah.
picks. Great picks.
Our faves too.
My gosh. All right. Shane and Vicky.
My favorite song comes from the episode Prom Queen, and it is when Blaine sings, "I'm not going to teach your boyfriend how to dance with you."
Yeah!
Shane, what is your favorite song?
Hoorah!
My favorite song is Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's an absolute banger. And Santana Forever.
Hell yeah. Oh my god! Just like us for real.
So guys, that is our wrap up of Glee for you.
Also-
Congrats on finishing the pod.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Huge. Big congrats. We didn't do it.
We didn't do it. So thanks for doing it for us.
Yeah.
And can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Yeah.
Bye.
Shane and Vicky, you're so welcome. We did actually do the podcast for the two of you, so it is
We
very...
did. That's actually true.
Yes, so thank you for the thank you. It means a lot to us. Jokes aside, though, love the two of you. It was so wonderful to have you on the podcast. It was so fun to go on your podcast and talk about
Yeah.
Sharpface Fabulous Adventure. That
Oh my
movie is a
God.
turkey.
Turkey.
Oh,
Jesus.
turkey. It's turkey lurkey time. And also, what great taste you have.
Mm-hmm.
Both those songs got
Our
superlatives on
favorites,
our
yeah.
end because they're bangers.
Yeah.
All right. Last and least, we have Alex. And he did say his favorite song. but he also just made up some categories that we didn't ask for. So
Well,
we're going to
thanks,
listen to
Alex.
all of it. He said no to favorite episode, but I will give you these other things.
Then I did my favorite and least favorite predictions. My favorite prediction was Quinn dyeing her hair, and my least favorite prediction was, well, and Quinn's like whole going edgy thing. And then my least favorite prediction was Mr. Shu singing blurred lines with the students, because that's horrifying. My seasons, I did my season order. From favorite to least favorite: 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be 5, 4. I'm trying to remember which is which. So maybe interchange the last two. But 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4. My favorite songs: Adele mashup, Survivor mashup, I think would probably be my top. But I also like Hello, I Love You. But I appreciate those the most because they're not just kind of carbon copies of the original with a different vocalist.
Love.
Those are my thoughts. And I guess that's the end of me on the podcast. Bye.
So he actually fell at the end of that. That's
Oh,
what you
no.
hear.
Oh,
Bye.
God, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think he is.
Say what you will about our enemy of the podcast, Alex Allred, but I'm glad he shared that. Like, those are some good picks.
Say what you want about any of the podcast, Alex Allred. He is A, hateful and spiteful person. He is B, my nemesis. He is everything that I don't like about humanity and the people on it.
Yeah.
But the categories he made up were good and interesting categories.
Yeah.
And
They weren't
also,
what we asked for.
he is cool and awesome, and I love him, and he's a very good
Yeah.
person, and he has interesting insight and all that stuff.
He's a smart guy.
He's very smart. He's very, very smart. Alex has like the most cultural, like, media literacy of like possibly anyone I know.
Seriously.
Big season 6 fan, Alex.
Honestly, and I think that order is a fun order.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Like 1,
It's
6,
chaos.
2,
Yeah.
3, 5, 4. Love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to switch 5 and 4 for you. Because
Yeah,
that is
I
what you
think-
meant.
I feel like I do flip between those two, though. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't love 5, but I think like the most egregious shit on the show happened in season 4, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think that might be accurate.
Wow. Fun episode. This was fun. I had such a blast preparing for this and hearing from all of our past guests. That was a blast. I loved talking about all this with you.
I love talking about it with you too. And really, like, truly thank you to all of our past guests.
Yeah.
That was really special, and it
I
meant a
know.
lot that every single one of you was like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'd love to. It was so nice. Like, besides Tiffani and Alex, all people that we met because of this podcast, that like our lives, our paths probably never would have crossed.
And now we're all friends with them. We're friends
Yeah.
with them all as well, which that's been my one of my favorite things from doing this podcast is like having internet friends. I've never had internet friends before.
It's like I'm on Tumblr in 2011.
Oh my
It's
God.
thrilling.
Thrilling. I love it.
Yeah,
thank
no,
you all.
it's fantastic. Really,
thank
thank
you all for sending those in. That really is really touching.
And thank you for taking the time to be on our podcast over the past
Seriously.
4 years, 3 years, 3.5, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you for being a part of it. Well, shoot,
Wow.
this isn't the end.
No,
That
not at
goes
all.
with the superlatives. This is the end of part 1 of our eulogy, everyone. Buckle
Yes.
up.
Buckle up.
It's only going to get worse from here.
More
next
eulogies
week.
coming at you soon.
More eulogies coming at you soon. Next week, we're going to be talking about characters. You know them, you love them. We
You
are going
love
to be
'em.
talking about their arcs, what we like about them, what we think each of those characters' most iconic song is, which just means I say the name of a character and Lena says the first song she associates with them, and then she does the same for me.
Seriously.
And it will be thrilling.
Thrilling.
Once again, just like how these past guests were such an important part of this podcast, y'all were an even more important part of this podcast because without people listening, it's just the two of us talking to each other.
Yeah.
And we really want to have you be a part of this eulogy, this in memoriam. So if you have thoughts you want to send in, if you have favorite moments you want to send in, if you want to say goodbye to this chapter of the podcast, please email us at recoveringgleek@gmail.com.
Oh, I can't even imagine hearing their thoughts.
And if you want to join our Patreon, if you want some bonus content, we do bonus episodes. We had an episode on Mean Girls that came out just a few weeks ago. You can join at patreon.com/recoveringgleek. And you also will get the silliest, most secret special shout out in the whole world. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah,
if you
totally.
become a best friend of the podcast. We're going to give a beautiful in memoriam post-mortem thank you to the best friends of the podcast.
Oh my god.
A big Patreon Glee series wrap-up eulogy thank you to... Are you ready? Ready time?
Oh no, sorry, I got so scared.
All right, we'll just gaze into each other's eyes for a little bit.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Ready. Ooh, the music's picking up. Ready, go. Brianna, Yasmin, Holly, JP, Ton. Oh my gosh, this music is so loud. Tanya, Erica, Sal, and Alex. Caden, Kirsten, Catherine, Mateo, Prob, Cowboy Emoji, Julia, Riley, Janula, Haley, Amy, M, Cece, David, Anna, Billy, Jacob, Andrew, Christine, Tara, AJ, Hannah, Kayleen, Venus, Kelsey, Abigail, Blake, Magicians and Drag Queens, Rachel, Paige, Allison, Natalie, Boo, Gwen, Sabrina, Kylie, Emily, Ruth, Megan, Alina, Ashlyn, Taylor, Audrey, Alexandra, Kylie, Dustin, Sarah, Azza, Jaden, that bitch, Kira, Clem, Paul, Vicky, Hannah, Gemma, Evan, Keely, Justice, Sophia, Nicola, Willie, Evie, Sarah, Camelin, Danica, Shalane, Lucas, Diagonal Toast, Eli, Mary, Kay, Asparagus, Squid 103, Brittany, Meg, Ava, Carolina, Reagan, Meredith, Miss Slytherin, Hannah, Calorchio, Kitty, Can I Finally Afford Patreon, Pee Pee Poo Poo, Josette, Tori, Amy, Marcus, Lowe, Ethan, McKenna, Danielle, Brisa, Maggie, Madeline, Tiffany, Aulani, Rachel, Destiny, Elise, Kieran, Diane, Elrain, Jeanette, Benjamin, Suzanne, Blainton, Ben, Alice, Babe, Bamitz, Ham, Caden, Katie, Paige, Nadia, Savannah, Fadia, Meadow, Nicole, Allie, Jackson, Tori, Golly, Caitlin, Katie, Garbage, Maddie, Abby, Kodiak, Kristen, Annie's Review Time, Story, Natasha, Liz, Eileen, Mariah, Manuel, Mallory, Amina, Hannah, Matilda, Rebecca, Libby, Eve, Jordan, Andrew, Elizabeth, Christina, Dell, Sarah, Ari, Liam, Juliana, Elijah, Stephanie, Haley, Raphael, Marissa, Rin, Taylor, Kimberly, Emily, Carlin, Frankie, Dana, Chase, Finley, Matthew, Jocelyn, Margaret, Despina, Sarah, Josie, Nash, Aaron, Alana, Marin, Emily, Han, Phoebe, Caitlin, Megan, Rachel, Aria, Jeremy, Beatrice, Ava, Haley, Emily, Anaya, Michelle, Lauren, Britt, Audrey, Marcus, Lisa, I Am Four Eyes, Jacqueline, Troy, Mallory, Ivan, Meredith, Phoebe, Hannah, Laszlo, Ray, Alyssa, Charlie, Lily, Janula, Sam, Sam, Jennifer, Audrey, Aubrey, Steph, Muppet Baby Cat, Kelsey, Haley, Tiffany, Emily, Leah, Marina, Kelsey, Isabella, Mira, Thomas, Juju, Cyrus, Brittany, Victoria, Aaliyah, Naomi, Kaylee, Robbie, Annie, Kenzie, Rhiannon, Ashley, Roman, Tara, Michael, Casey, Katie, Will, Elizabeth, Freddie, Emma, Turtle, Allison, stop.
205. A dark choice.
It wasn't my best, but I was too overcome with emotion to
Seriously?
get under 2 minutes.
It's dark.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming. We have refreshments in the next room on your way out. The casket is still open if you want to come and pay your last respects.
There's also a photo booth in the corner if you want to take a picture.
Yeah, we have a lot of silly props. It might seem distasteful, but this is what Recovering Gleek wanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
They seem
and
distasteful.
There will also be blasting How Can I Get You Alone on repeat.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
The luncheon is going to be at 2 p.m. We would love to see you there.
And then karaoke right after.
In karaoke immediately after. Please come next week for part 2 of this funeral. we will be leaving the open casket just in this room with the body
course, you guys
exposed to
can come
oxygen and rotting for the next 7 days.
The body?
So please.
Jesus.
Yeah, the body of this podcast, girl.
Was she hot, do you think?
Oh, this podcast, 10 out of 10. A straight dime, I'm telling you. Are you kidding me? Hottest podcast around. She made all the other podcasts turn their heads. Damn. Recovering Gleek colon ugly podcast? I don't think so. Recovering Gleek
it's called
colon,
ugly as a joke.
because it's ironic. It's like, you know.
No, it's like
you're
it's
so
okay to call your
confident.
like beautiful friend ugly sometimes because everyone knows that she's not.
No, seriously.
She's
exactly,
like the
'cause
most
it's
beautiful
not-
person you all know.
It's not going to hurt her self-esteem because it's just
No,
like
'cause she's
so
good.
objective fact that she's beautiful. So you can be like, oh, this bitch is ugly.
Like she gets discovered wherever she goes.
Seriously, modeling scouts constantly with our podcast everywhere we go. They're like, have you ever tried modeling? That's crazy.
And she's
Do you
like,
want to be an actress? She's like, I'm not really sure. I kind of want to finish school.
Yeah, totally.
I'd really like to go to my high school prom.
It's like, actually, I'm a scientist, so no thanks.
She's like, actually, podcast in STEM. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a podcast instead.
So,
So everybody go take a picture with her.
for attending this funeral celebrating the life of a podcast who paved the way for podcasts in STEM and proved that podcasts don't just have to be beautiful, they can be smart and kick-ass too.
Yeah.
So thank you all for being here.
Jesus.
Tune in next week. This song is long.
I know, literally.
Chopin was
Well,
not
this funeral
joking
was
when he
long.
wrote this. This funeral was long. You ever been to a 3-hour funeral, bitch? Girl.
Yeah.
And this is part 1. All right, well, I'll fade this out.
Oh my god, it has
See-
been 3 hours.
Yes, it has. See you all here next week, same time, same place. Love you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining in with us over all of these years. And please continue to join in with us as we say goodbye to all of these years. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. See you later. Here's a funeral kiss on your forehead if you want it.
And here's one from me.
Jesus, we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Why?
Lots of
All
death
right.
imagery happening on this episode. Bye, guys. Love you.
Thank you for listening to Recovering Gleek. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at recoveringgleek_podcast. If you liked our podcast, be sure to leave a review. And tell your friends, please.
I was going to ask you something.
If I would be your date to prom,
Yeah, will you go to prom?
we would
with
have
me?
so much fun at prom.
We would. We would have killed it. Oh my gosh. I have no idea. So
Wow, that was no
if
fun.
it wasn't
Thanks.
important. You're welcome. All right. Well, we can stop recording now.